So you talked about having that good experience and how that encouraged you to repeat that and go contribute elsewhere too. And we talked about your professional career journey. Were you able to contribute as part of your jobs, or were there more kind of on your own free time, sort of personal-ish contributions?
Yeah. So did I ever contribute to open source as part of my day job? And no, I never did. As as a after my first maybe first job, maybe I probably did some stuff there just to I got stuff working on a new configuration or something, and I'd send some stuff back. But I don't think I wasn't really in a position to do that. I mean, I transitioned pretty quickly into management, and so I wasn't really able to contribute to open source software as part of my job. Now, I still did a lot of open source software stuff, and so basically, on my own time and weekends or whatever, I do some evenings here and there. I do write open source software. I'd contribute back to open source software. What is a contribution, right? It's like it could be, as I said, it could be like a make file, it could be something else, it could be providing a feature to another, to a program, a feature that didn't exist. It could be, it could be writing your own project because something that doesn't exist yet. It's like different ways you can contribute to kind of the open source software, and that's kind of what I did. I did it all on my own time because I wasn't really a developer working for a company that was doing working with open source software, and I needed to make it work with this or that. It's that because I was in IT management, IT leadership, so it wasn't just something I did. But I was at work, I was more of a user. But I will say, I teach some courses today in tech writing, and so technical writing and technical communication, and I'm teaching a class that I really enjoy teaching, which is about writing with digital technologies. It's about different how to use tools and how to use technologies, and the tools that I use that I teach in that class, I try to use open source software where I can, and so for example. I teach, there's technical writers still use word processors day in and day out. And we could, do Word, but we're actually not a Word campus. We're not a Microsoft campus. We're a Google campus. And so we don't have, Word that students are just already have. And so I actually am using LibreOffice, which I actually use all the time anyway for my consulting and for anything else that I do. And so I teach them how to do stuff in LibreOffice. I actually find is more powerful anyway, or at least the features that I use. I find it more powerful, more easy to use in LibreOffice. And so I teach that. And the students love, the feedback has been, they love, learning about how to use LibreOffice. We also learned some proprietary tools. We learned some things like that, but that are also used in the industry. But, where there's an option, it's like, open source software is a great way to go, especially for students because they, it's for them, it's low cost. But I also love the kind of the exposure, right? I mean, it's like I've been in open source software since the 90s, and so I kind of like, showing that open source software can do the job. One goal that I have when I do that is, the phrase that I've come to hate when people talk about open source software who haven't used open source software is they always say, well, you get what you pay for, right? And I'm like, if it's free, then it can't be good. And I'm like, no, actually, it's really good. It's really good. And so I kind of show that when, it's one of the reasons I like to show this to my students is like LibreOffice. It actually is, it's open source software. Yeah, you can download it for free. If you like it, you probably should, contribute back to the project. But, you can download it for free and use it for free. But that doesn't mean it is bad. It actually is extremely powerful. And you got these students that are just like, I love learning about LibreOffice. Scribus the same way. And of course, you also talk to people who work in the field. So technical communication, just because that's what I teach. Talk to people who work in technical communication. They'll actually say they actually use open source software tools. LibreOffice is, I was surprised to learn, pretty widely used in a variety of different organizations where they need to publish this kinds of material. You need to create a workbook. You need, like a 60-page workbook for a training lab. That's a great way to do it is inside LibreOffice. You need to create a book for something. You can do that as well. It's a great way to create, basically book interiors. And so it's sort of more widely used than I thought. But it's just kind of great to show students that these are open source tools and they're very powerful. So it's kind of the other reason I wanted to kind of use that in my classes, to kind of just kind of show, yeah, it's there. Like be an advocate, right? Be an advocate basically for open source software.
Yeah, and if they also have the chance and opportunity and just understand that they can go and contribute, like fix things, make things better, then what you said about like how much you, I don't know, pay for it and that's what you get. You can also think about it in a way that if you put your time into fixing something or making something better, then you and everyone else gets that enhancement, and that will make the tool or the project that much better. And I think that that's very compelling.